Hola, muy buenas, ¿qué tal? Soy Sarjan Suria, presidente de la Asociación Española de Terapia Biodinámica Craneosacral. Y aquí continuamos con la serie de entrevistas con los oradores y hoy tenemos con nosotros a la maravillosa Katherine Ukleja, que nos conecta desde Inglaterra y nos va a compartir un poquito su experiencia y qué es lo que podemos esperar en su conferencia. Espero lo disfrutéis. So, welcome again in this series of interviews we are doing with the main speakers of our Congress in October. And we have with us today Katherine Ukleja, that is connecting with us from Devon. And thank you very much for your time and for being with us in this short interview. And of course, for being part of the Congress and coming to visit us in Spain.
I'm very much looking forward to being in this nice, larger setting in Spain. So thank you for inviting me.
Welcome, a pleasure. So, for a start, tell us a little bit about yourself. So, how was your journey in the biodynamic craniosacral therapy?
My first career was in the arts. And then my late 20s, I think I could say I got itchy hands. I started to go, oh, if I poke here, this happens. And if I rub there, I can get rid of your headache. And I just got very interested in illness, in remedies, and in what you could do with your hands.
Wow.
That was so when I made my transition, I knew I didn't want to be a herbalist or somebody who sticks pins in people. I knew that what I would do in this field was work with my hands. And I went through massage and osteopathy of the structural nature before I found craniosacral therapy. And it was like the big boys, even when I was in osteopathic college, were walking around with their cranial osteopathy books. And I was going, oh, what's that about? And to be honest, I didn't do very much within osteopathy. But I started to do seminars with people outside. And not so long afterwards, I had a busy structural osteopathic practice. I came across Franklin Sills at the Institute. And in fact, whilst I've been, in California and here and there and everywhere pursuing seminars, here was the Karuna Institute right on my doorstep, 45 minutes from home.
Wow.
And for me, as soon as I learned that they're under the guidance of Franklin Sills, it was like coming home. Like I just had an immediate sense of belonging. And the biodynamic model wasn't really evolved yet. I was there through the evolution from a much more biomechanical approach, rooted much more in the primary respiratory mechanism, to the transition of seeing the greater forces at work and really orienting to the potency rather than the tissues.
And when was that, more or less?
How old do I know that? About 30 years ago.
Wow. So ending of the 80s.
Yeah, ending of the 80s, beginning of the 90s. That's when that transition came. And then I had the good fortune to actually teach alongside Franklin for 15 years during that whole transition.
Wow, amazing.
And what I found so very satisfying about the biodynamic model is the other thing that drew me into the work, really because of family history, was what it was that really gave some people the ability to survive extraordinary circumstances, and I just found that within the model that we have and the model of the potency and the model of resources, it really answered those questions, what it was that some people can bring to, how come some people are dug out of rubble 5 days after an earthquake, and they're alive and well. How does that happen? And I feel that what we have gives us good answers to that.
Wow, yeah. Amazing. Yeah. Wow. Nice. Wow, that sounds great. So, orienting a little bit into the conference that you're going to offer us in the Congress, what do you think if you can give us a few tips of what this conference can bring us?
Well, I feel I can really only speak to my own contribution, but I think I want to concentrate on wholeness and interconnection. The way that we're part of a massive, integrated, breathing whole that is our universe. And then, of course, for centuries, we've lived with an increasingly reductionist model, which breaks everything apart, and certainly in its understanding of the human body and of our physical and psychological function, it puts everything into little boxes. And we're not little boxes. Yeah. We're not collections of little boxes. We are integrated, living, whole organisms. And what I want to bring is an awareness of how it's the entirety of the organism that truly responds to its physical and emotional and general environment. And you really can't separate the mind from the body. You can't really make those divisions in any kind of meaningful way. And then within that, I want to really bring out the incredible power of touch and how by connecting body to body rather than mind to body, we're certainly not a talking therapy, or in any other mediated way, if we're in direct contact with the physical aspect of me and the physical aspect of you, there's a whole other language here which truly connects us to the wider field of life on Earth.
Wow.
So nice. That's the direction we're heading in.
Wow. Nice. I'm really waiting for it. It's gonna be great. So as you know, as you're coming several times to Spain to teach, right now in Spain there is a big, let's say, buzzing of new therapies and new practitioners coming up, no? So what would be for you an advice that you can give to those therapists that are just starting out in their careers?
You mean in craniosacral therapy or in general?
No, in craniosacral therapy.
My main thing that I would say to them is this is much more powerful than you could ever imagine. Do not have to combine it with anything else. You don't have to do it as an adjunct to something that you do already. You don't have to qualify in this and then qualify in 24 other things. Stay with this work, deepen in this work, and you will get fantastic clinical results, which will enrich your own life and the life of others.
Yes, totally agree.
Yeah.
Yes. Nice. So what has helped you the most to really understand what is craniosacral biodynamics?
What's helped me the most are my clients. Years in clinical practice and seeing what doesn't work. And of course, coming from a structural background, there was that tendency to want to fix, to want to do something, to want to have an idea of how things ought to work. And what I've learned from my practice is that really you can entirely trust the potency to do the work for you. You can trust in its deep organizing, ordering intelligence and follow the path that it sets for you. And that really, really is the biodynamic way. And that produces much better clinical results than trying to think about it or have ideas of your own.
Yeah.
But really my clients have taught me. Yeah, as well as Franklin Sills. I was with the great man, which was fantastic. But it's actually, I'm not up there in the Becker lead, but Becker says, and after 40,000 sessions, you begin to get the work. I feel I now have a very personal relationship with potency. I have a direct way of relating to potency. And I've learned that through many, 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 many hours of hands-on work.
Yeah, it's this sentence that the clients are our teachers, no?
Yeah, they truly are. Yeah.
Nice. Great. Wow. Thank you. So just to wrap it up and to finish, if now we would give you a microphone like this and you could speak out to the world about this therapy, what would you tell the world about it?
I would say this is truly groundbreaking medicine for the 21st century. It's sustainable, it's low cost, and it orients us back to wholeness and to the health within. It's not about putting anything extra in or taking anything away. It's trusting in the wholeness of our being and in our inherent health.
Wow. Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a great message for the world. Yes.
And, you know, we're in trouble. We are in trouble globally.
Yeah. Yes.
This is something that can genuinely help, and it is genuinely sustainable.
Yes, it's true. Yeah. Nice.
It only takes human resources and the power in our hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Great. Thank you, Katherine, so much for sharing these moments with us. And we're so excited to have you with us. And as we also know, you're going to be doing a course with us the next 2 days after the Congress. And hope we can do a later interview about that course, and you can tell us a little bit, just give us some tips of it. So we will meet another day and we can talk about that. And I'm so happy to see you soon and see you in October.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for having me once again, and thank you for arranging this interview.
Great. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.